3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Good morning everybody and welcome to another episode of We Talk. Today we are at Ace Models. My name is Jareen Hoff.
And I'm Yolanda Nel. We are both based in Segura Emporium, but before we get into everything we have on offer for you today is World Veterinary Day.
Welcome back viewers. Now we're going to have a quick look at our website. First up, in some good news for the Cancer Association, Namibia Breweries Limited donated $75,000 towards CAN, which will go towards the renovation project of the 8th floor Children's Pediatric Oncology Ward at the Windhoek Central Hospital.
That definitely is some good news. The organization, on Thursday, the program kicks off to celebrate International Press Freedom Day, which will be held in Windhoek again this year, 30 years after the Windhoek Declaration was signed in 1991. Also on Friday, the Editors Forum of Namibia will host this year's awards, where the Journalist and Broadcaster of the Year will be honored.
The organization, Fridays for Future, demonstrated in the capital on Friday against the planned oil production by the Canadian company Recon Africa in northern Namibia. At the same time, protests were held in front of the Canadian High Commission in London in solidarity. Protesters called on G7 countries, especially Canada, Germany, Great Britain and the USA, to show leadership at this critical point and to take steps to stop the carbon bomb project.
Then finally, in sporting news, the Namibia Football Association has been fined $6,000 by the Confederation of Africa Football for using an unfit stadium, the Sam Nujoma Stadium situated in Katatura. NFA Secretary General Franco Cosmos confirmed this, saying they received a letter from the CAF that indicated the fine should be settled within 7 days from 21st April 2021.
And if I calculate correctly, that is tomorrow.
Yes.
Welkom terug kykers, soos ons vroeër gesê het, kuier ons vandag by Daphne Voigts van Ace Models. Daphne, vertel ons 'n bietjie van Ace Models. Hoe het dit begin? Hoe lank is jy nou al in die bedryf?
Hi Jereen. Hierdie jaar is my 8ste jaar. So Ace Models het in 2014 begin. Eintlik met 'n droom om 'n stokperdjie te kan hê en so aan. En ek het ook maar my hele lewe lank modeling gedoen. En ja, toe het ek maar as 'n droom begin en nou is dit my passie.
Nou vertel my ook, intussen het jy nou natuurlik ook al baie groei beleef. Ons het nou agter die skerms 'n bietjie gesels oor die besigheid self. Wat het in die laaste 8 jaar alles gebeur?
Sjoe, baie het gebeur. Ek dink ek het meer gegroei as wat die industrie gegroei het. En dit is maar 'n fast-going industrie. Dit verander ook maar letterlik weekliks, daagliks. Ons sê altyd jy's die season, flavor of the season. So vandag is dit mooi maar blonde kop girls, môre is dit letterlik plus size models en so ja, die industrie verander baie. Ek het baie verander, ons leer vandag. My eerste fashion show het my so 5-6 ure gevat, nou doen ek hom in 2 ure. So ja, so ons almal leer en so.
Jy praat oor fashion shows, jy het oor die naweek weer 'n show gehad. Vertel my daarvan, hoe gereeld doen julle hierdie soort shows?
So dit is soos hulle eksamens en hulle doen dit een keer 'n kwartaal, soos ek een keer 'n kwartaal 'n fotoshoot, een keer 'n kwartaal 'n fashion show en hierdie kwartaal se fashion show se tema was high fashion. So ons doen, hulle leer 2 verskillende tipe lope en dan moet hulle dit basies as 'n eksamen doen vir judges en dan kry hulle punte daarop. So dit is hulle hele posture, hoe jy jouself dra, pas jou oorbelle by jou outfit, by jou skoene en so aan. En dan kom maar 'n bietjie choreografie in, net om die show bietjie in te kleer en ja, dan en hulle love dit. Ek sê as hulle die eerste keer opkom dan letterlik kan sien hoe klop hulle hartjies en dan sê hulle die tweede keer is baie erg en dan wil hulle nie van die stage afklim nie, want dan is die show klaar.
Hoorie nou, hoe bly jy op die spits van sake? Hoe weet jy wat is nou nuut in die industrie?
Ace Models is 'n franchise en ons het 28 takke reg oor Suid-Afrika. Namibië het ek nou 3 takke en dan het ons 1 tak onlangs begin in Australië. So ons is op 'n WhatsApp groepie en een keer 'n jaar kom ons bymekaar, eintlik 2 keer 'n jaar, een keer vir nationals en dan een keer vir ons directors meeting, maar ons is so sisterhoods. Ons help mekaar en ons deel video's en ons deel training en ja, so jy's altyd letterlik 'n phone call away.
Jy het nou net vertel van die ander takke behalwe Windhoek, waar is julle nog?
Ek het 'n tak in die kus, so Swakop en Walvis, maar hulle val onder een tak en hulle het hierdie naweek hulle kwartaalshow en dan gaan ek nou 'n bietjie kyk of hulle up to standard is. So dis Megan Roundtree wat dit daar vir my doen. Sy is 5 jaar 'n model by my gewees en toe kus toe getrek, onlangs getroud. So nee, sy hardloop hom daar en dan my ander tak het hierdie jaar begin in Grootfontein Tjume.
Watse tipe persoon moet na jou toe kom?
Iemand wat 'n beter weergawe van hulle self wil wees, iemand wat hulle selfvertroue wil boost, iemand wat dit net lekker, kleintjies sê ek altyd, dis net lekker om op te dress. As jy net lus is vir opdress en skoentjies aantrek en lipstick aan sit, kom ons maak jou. So vir my is dit baie keer as ek veral iemand sien, ons het laas jaar Michelle McLean was hier gewees in my studio en sy het 'n workshop hier aangebied en ek het so 2 kinders daar gewaar wat regtig kan loop, regtig nie oogkontak kan maak en daai is my tipe kos. Dit gee vir my so 'n persoon en al wat ek wil doen is daai persoon net selfvertroue leer om op te kyk, die wêreld in die oë te kyk en te sê dis wie ek is. Ek is ek en dis die beste weergawe van myself wat ek kan wees.
Natuurlik is die bedryf ons baie gefokus op meisies en vrouens, maar wat van seuns en jong mans?
Nee, verseker is hulle baie welkom. Dames se ouderdom piek is vroeg 20s en dan ja, hulle gaan jou net eendag nie meer bel en sê jy het 'n job nie, maar man, so ouer hulle raak is soos rooi wyn. Hoe ouer hulle raak, hoe beter raak hulle, hoe mooier raak hulle.
Is dit nie onregverdig nie?
Dis baie lelik van hulle. Maar ja, so die seuns, ek het nou 'n ouetjie by my wat 29 is en hy begin ook net bietjie, hy wil eintlik net fotografie doen. Toe sê ek nee, dis nie dit werk nie, ons moet al die hele aspek daarvan doen en hy het net geënter voor my meneer en my juffrou Ace Models en letterlik 'n week voor dit het sê vir my ek wil dit nie doen nie en hy het Ace Models, meneer Ace Models gewen en nou wil hy Mr Supernatural doen vir volgende jaar. So die gogga het hom gebyt en soos wat hy ook self sê, dis 'n journey. Dis nie net kyk hoe mooi lyk ek op 'n foto, fotogenies is ek nie, maar dis die hele journey wat daarmee saamgaan om jouself te groom en na jouself te kyk. Ja, nee, die seuns is definitief welkom en ek het min seuns hierdie jaar, maar die 5 wat ek het bly nie uit my klas uit nie. Hulle het eintlik elke tweede week klas, maar hulle kom elke week.
Hoorie nou, en wat is volgende vir julle?
Sjoe, nou is ons eers bietjie op vakansie vir 2 weke en dan begin ons met ons pageantry wat dan by ons meneer en mevrou Eis is. Dan het ons jaarlikse Grow Fashion Show wat ons bietjie vir die klere vir die mall bietjie model en so en dan het ons einde September Nationals. So Nationals is waar ons een keer 'n jaar 500-600 modelle bymekaar kom en dan is die agencies daar. So then you never know, you're lucky in a big city. Dan ja, kan jy gescout word en dit is waar Lizaan Momberg 3-4 jaar terug gescout is en sy bly nou in Canada en sy doen 'n modeling school daar. Sy hardloop by eie agency, sy is international model daar. So ja, mense weet, die Anaya Kloete het ook so 2-3 jaar terug is gescout en sy is nou by die New York Film Academy. So sy doen haar dans instructor daar.
So ongelooflik is dit. Daar is regtig 'n the world is your oyster, né? Enigiets kan gebeur.
Yes. Ja, jy weet nooit, net by regte tyd, by regte plek wees.
Baie dankie Daphne dat jy 'n paar minute van jou besige dag vir ons afgestaan het. Dis dit kykers, ons sien julle nou weer.
Dankie.
And now for today's life hack. If you want to unclog your drain, simply run hot water down the drain for a minute. Then sprinkle 1 cup of baking soda down the drain. Then slowly pour 1 cup of vinegar down the drain. Flush one more time with hot or boiling water. Next up, Jeanette Diergaard talking to our Miss Namibia finalists.
I'm with Andeline Wieland, one of the finalists from the 16 of the Miss Namibia 2021 show. Andeline, how was this year's Miss Namibia for you?
Sure, yeah, it's my second time doing it, and I always say you don't get used to it. Still nervous. I'm being called out last, of course. You know, you stand back, then you go, okay, and then yeah, so flood of relief, so excited, and I can't wait for the rest of the journey.
What would you say is different this year than the previous year?
Obviously, firstly, it's a COVID pageant, which is very interesting, and yeah, it's different performing without an audience, and knowing your audience is out there at home. You know, you have to work around that, but it's fun, and you have to be creative. But also, for this time around, I decided I'm not going to be, I'm going to be myself and not try to fit into a stereotype and anything. I am curvy and confident, and I think that's how I'm approaching this year. Is I'm just going to be me, and hopefully that works.
And what was your favorite experience from the previous year 2019, right, and this year?
So I was actually in 2016, so that was 5 years ago, which is crazy, yeah. But back then, I think I am a fan of getting dressed up. That's always been my favorite. So I always say that the best part of pageants for me is the evening gown. But of course, we also did amazing charity work back then, and I would love to be more hands-on with that again this year if we can.
Okay, and to all those ladies out there that wants to be a part of Miss Namibia, and maybe other contestants that wants to redo it again, what would you tell them?
If it's your dream, do it again. Go back, get feedback. I went to all my judges, you know, from the last time. I got feedback, and I was like, this is something I'm not going to sleep on. I don't want to be old one day and regret not trying again. So don't do it again. Like, it doesn't hurt. You don't lose anything, and maybe it's your time. So, you know, be brave, figure out who and what you are, and then go try again.
So just a quick question, are those your earrings that you made?
Yeah, so quite a few of the girls tonight wore some untold jewelry earrings. I'm so proud. But yeah, I love making costume jewelry, and especially sparkly ones. So yeah, of course I have to wear my own brand.
Of course you do. Thank you so much, Andeline, and all the best this time around.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
For today's episode of Did You Know, Yolanda now heads back to Italian-style food, where she continues her cheese-making expedition. Enjoy!
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Did You Know? So this morning I'm joined with Christian here from Italian Style Food. Christian is going to run us through the cheese making process. Can you just quickly tell us how many processes are there when making cheese?
Well, there are a lot. We start with milk, which has to be checked in various components. Then the milk has to be heat, has to reach a certain temperature according to what cheese you want to make. Then there is another process, is pasteurization, that usually comes before, bringing the milk to about 73 degrees and then cooling down immediately. So when you have the milk at the right temperature, according to the cheese that you want to make, normally with the pasteurized milk you have to put inside cultures which re-establish the bacterial flora of the original cheese. After that, the fermentation starts. It depends, the length depends from the cheese and the milk. After that, there is the coagulation of the milk, which is done by using rennet. The rennet put the protein together, it becomes like a pudding. After that, you have to cut it, and the size of the cut, which are in two phases, it depends from the kind of cheese you want to make. For example, mozzarella we cut at 2 centimeter cubes of 2 centimeter, while Emmental is like a rice grain shape. So it depends. After that, after a certain time, the cheese can be worked and put in the mold. Depending from the cheese, you can have cheese at raw paste, so it's not the temperature is not enhanced and elevated, or you have a kind of half cooking paste, some cheese, or fully cooked paste, like the Italian cheese, Parmesan or Grana or other cheese. So basically this is the process for the working of the milk. After that, we put in a brine, or we salt it dry. Normally you can sprinkle with salt, or you put in a brine of with about 20 to 25% of salt inside. Then there is the time of the maturation. There are cheese that are ready to be eaten, like mozzarella or stracchino, 1 day, camembert, 30 days.
Wow.
Semi-mature cheese, 2 months, till hard cheese, 7 to 2 years of maturity. So you can imagine the cost of the cheese by stocking a head of cheese for 2 years. These basically are the process involved.
And that's all we have for you today, viewers.
Thank you very much for tuning in, and please be sure to tune in again tomorrow when we're heading for fine dining and some fun at the Cork and Fork.